The spaceship was a metal bird, soaring through the vast darkness. It glided effortlessly through the cosmos, a beacon of human ingenuity and hope. The stars outside twinkled like a million eyes watching their journey, each one a distant sun with its own secrets and stories. Inside, humans went about their days. They ate, slept, and worked, maintaining the delicate balance of life aboard the vessel. The hum of machinery was a constant companion, a reminder of the technology that kept them alive in the void. They talked, sharing stories and dreams, dreaming of a new home on a distant planet. Conversations often drifted to the future, to the new world they hoped to build, a place where humanity could start anew. Then everything changed. The ship's captain made an announcement. They had a new passenger, rescued from a damaged spacecraft. The news spread quickly, a ripple of curiosity and concern, but this was no ordinary traveler. This was an alien. The crew had never encountered extraterrestrial life before, and the reality of it was both thrilling and terrifying. The alien girl, named Lyra, looked different from everyone else. Her skin shimmered with colors unseen on Earth, a mesmerizing blend of blues and purples that seemed to shift and change with the light. Her eyes, large and curious, sparkled like distant stars. They held a depth and wisdom that belied her youthful appearance, as if she had seen things beyond human comprehension. When she moved, it was with an otherworldly grace. Her movements were fluid and elegant, almost as if she were dancing through the air. It was clear she was not bound by the same physical limitations as the humans around her. The humans on board felt a mix of excitement and fear. They had never met anyone like her before. Some were eager to learn from her, to understand her world and her people. Others were wary, unsure of what her presence might mean for their mission. Lyra, for her part, felt a profound sense of loneliness. She had left her own kind behind, seeking refuge in the vast unknown. The spaceship, with its cold metal walls and unfamiliar faces, was a far cry from the home she had known. This ship, with its strange metal corridors and the constant hum of machinery, was her only hope. She wandered its halls, trying to make sense of her new surroundings, feeling like a stranger in a strange land. She longed to connect with the humans, to show them she meant no harm. She wanted to share her knowledge, her experiences, and perhaps find a place among them. But the cultural and linguistic barriers were immense. But how could she bridge the gap between their two worlds? She spent hours pondering this question, searching for a way to communicate, to build a bridge of understanding. It was a daunting task, but she was determined to try. Slowly, small moments of connection began to form. A shared smile, a gesture of kindness, a mutual curiosity. These tiny sparks of understanding gave Lyra hope. Perhaps in time they could learn to trust each other, to see beyond their differences and find common ground. As the spaceship continued its journey towards the distant planet, the crew and their strange new passenger began to forge a fragile bond. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with uncertainty, but also with the promise of discovery and growth. The universe was vast and full of possibilities, and in that endless expanse, humans and aliens alike would find their place together. Lyra wandered through the ship, her steps hesitant. Human eyes followed her everywhere. Some whispered behind cupped hands, their faces etched with suspicion. What were her intentions? Was she a threat? A group of children, emboldened by curiosity, approached Lyra. They pointed at her strange clothes, giggling nervously. Lyra smiled, hoping to ease their apprehension, but they only backed away, their laughter dying in their throats. The language barrier felt insurmountable. A wall, built of unspoken fears and cultural differences. The weight of their gazes, the fear she sensed in their silence, filled Lyra with despair. Was this what it meant to be so utterly alone, to be so different that even a smile was met with fear? She retreated to a quiet corner of the ship, the hum of the engines a mournful symphony to her loneliness. Back in her small, sterile room, Lyra felt a familiar ache in her heart. It was the ache of isolation, of being misunderstood. On her home planet, her people communicated through dance. Each movement, each gesture carried meaning, expressing emotions too complex for words. A spark of hope ignited within her. Perhaps dance could be her bridge, her way of speaking to the humans. It was a universal language, one that transcended words and spoke directly to the soul. Taking a deep breath, Lyra stepped into the center of the room. She closed her eyes, remembering the dances of her people, the stories they told, the emotions they conveyed. With each beat of her heart, she prepared to share a piece of herself, a glimpse into her world. Section 4. The Language of Motion. Lyra began to dance. Her movements were not just a series of steps, but a symphony of emotions, each gesture a note in a melody that spoke of her soul. Her movements were fluid, like water flowing over smooth stones, each motion a seamless transition to the next. It was as if she was painting the air with her body, creating an invisible masterpiece that only the heart could see. She spun and leaped, her body a blur of motion, defying the very gravity that held the spaceship together. In zero gravity, her dance took on an ethereal quality, her limbs moving with a grace that seemed almost otherworldly. Her dance was a story of her home planet, a world of vibrant colors and breathtaking landscapes, and each movement was a brushstroke, painting a picture of a place filled with life and beauty, a place that was now just a memory. At first the humans watched with confusion. They had never seen such a form of expression, so raw and unfiltered. It was as if they were witnessing a language they had never heard before, one that spoke directly to the soul. They had never seen anything like it. But slowly, something shifted. The confusion in their eyes began to fade, replaced by a spark of understanding. They started to see the stories she was telling, the emotions she was conveying. The language of movement, so different yet so familiar, began to resonate within them. It was a universal language, one that transcended words and spoke directly to the heart. They felt her joy, her sorrow, her longing for acceptance. They saw her joy, her fear, her hope for acceptance. Each movement was a window into her soul, revealing the depths of her emotions. It was a powerful performance, one that left no heart untouched. The fear in their eyes gave way to curiosity, then wonder. They were captivated by her performance, drawn into the story she was telling. It was a story of love and loss, of hope and despair, a story that resonated with them on a deep emotional level. Children, their natural inhibitions forgotten, were the first to respond. They were drawn to her like moths to a flame, their eyes wide with wonder. They began to mimic her movements, their small bodies moving with a grace that belied their age. They mimicked her movements, their laughter echoing through the ship, breaking the tense silence that had prevailed for so long. Their joy was infectious, spreading through the crowd like wildfire. Their laughter was infectious, spreading to the adults, thawing the frost of suspicion. The adults, seeing the joy in the children's eyes, began to join in. They moved awkwardly at first, their bodies stiff with years of unexpressed emotion, but slowly they began to loosen up, their movements becoming more fluid, more natural. Soon the entire crowd was dancing, their movements a beautiful tapestry of unity and diversity. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated joy, a moment that transcended the boundaries of race, culture, and species. In that moment they were not just humans and aliens, but beings connected by the universal language of motion. As the spaceship traveled through the vast expanse of space, the dance continued, a beacon of hope and unity in the darkness. It was a reminder that no matter how different we may seem, we are all connected by the same emotions, the same desires, the same need for connection and understanding. And as Lyra danced, a smile spread across her face. She had found a way to communicate, a way to bridge the gap between her world and theirs. In that moment, she was not just a dancer, but a storyteller, a bridge between two worlds. The crowd erupted in applause, their cheers echoing through the ship. It was a moment of triumph, a moment of connection, a moment that would be remembered for years to come. The language of motion had spoken, and it had been heard. Section 5. A Bridge Across the Stars. By the time Lyra finished her dance, the room was filled with a sense of shared humanity. Her movements had transcended the boundaries of language, speaking directly to the hearts of those who watched. Each twirl and step was a testament to the universal language of emotion, a bridge that connected souls across the vast expanse of space. The humans had not understood her words, but they had understood her heart. Her dance was a story, a narrative of her journey, her struggles and her dreams. It was a tale of longing and hope, of fear and courage, and it resonated deeply with everyone present. They saw in her movements a reflection of their own experiences, their own desires for connection and understanding. They applauded, their faces lit up with smiles, a language Lyra understood perfectly. The sound of their clapping was like a symphony, a harmonious blend of appreciation and acceptance. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated joy, a celebration of the bonds that had been forged in the crucible of shared experience. In that moment, the barriers between them crumbled. The invisible walls of fear and misunderstanding that had once separated them were no more. They were no longer strangers from different worlds, but kindred spirits, united by a common purpose. The air was thick with a sense of unity, a palpable feeling of togetherness that transcended the physical confines of the spaceship. Lyra was no longer an outsider, an object of fear. She had become a part of their community, a cherished member of their interstellar family. The warmth of their acceptance enveloped her, like a comforting embrace, dispelling the shadows of loneliness that had haunted her for so long. She felt a profound sense of belonging, a deep connection to these people who had opened their hearts to her. She was a fellow traveler, sharing their journey, their hopes, their dreams. Together, they navigated the uncharted territories of space, their hearts and minds intertwined in a shared quest for discovery and understanding. Each day brought new challenges and new opportunities, but they faced them together, united by a common goal. The children, their eyes shining with excitement, reached out to take her hand, eager to learn more about this strange and wonderful girl from another world. Their curiosity was boundless, their enthusiasm infectious. They saw in Lyra a source of endless fascination, a living embodiment of the mysteries and wonders of the universe. As Lyra danced with the children, their laughter echoing through the spaceship, a new hope blossomed in her heart. She realized that the future was bright, filled with endless possibilities. The children's joy was a beacon of light, guiding her towards a new beginning, a new chapter in her life. Their laughter was a melody of hope, a song that promised a brighter tomorrow. They were different, yes, but beneath the surface they were all connected. Their differences were not a source of division, but a wellspring of strength. Each person brought their unique perspective, their individual experiences, enriching the tapestry of their shared existence. They were a mosaic of diversity, each piece adding to the beauty and complexity of the whole. They were all travelers on this journey through the vast universe, searching for connection, for understanding, for a place to call home. The stars outside the spaceship's window were a constant reminder of the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. Each twinkling light was a symbol of hope, a promise of new adventures and new discoveries. And in that moment, bathed in the soft glow of the spaceship's lights, they had found it in each other. The gentle illumination cast a warm, golden hue over the group, highlighting the bonds that had been forged in the crucible of shared experience. They were no longer just individuals on a journey, they were a family, united by a common purpose and a shared destiny. In the vast expanse of the universe, they had found their home in each other, a place where they truly belonged.